Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So no major shifts in the numbers this week. The market is still chugging along. We're still seeing lots of bidding wars. So let's look at the numbers. In Georgetown this week, we had 16 properties sell, which is sort of a middle ground. If we're around 10, it's low. If we're 20 plus, it's high. So 16 is okay. 11 of them sold over asking. So still tons of activity happening, tons of bidding wars. In terms of new listings this week, we had 18 new listings. A bunch of them actually sold, which isn't great news, but 18 new listings, and that is better, I guess, than our sales being higher than our new listings, so we'll take it. Acton had 3 sales this week, 2 of them over asking, so still lots of bidding wars there. 2 new listings. In Glen Williams, there was 1 sale and 1 new listing. The Limehouse market is kind of dead in the water right now. There's no sales, no new listings. The rural market saw 1 sale, it got over asking, and 2 new listings. So now looking at active inventory. Last week we were at 56, this week we're at 57. We did have, I think it was 4 or 5 properties come off the market this week. So that definitely kept inventory down. So 57 active listings in all of Halton Hills, super low. I feel like we're gonna get below that 50 mark really soon, which is bad news. In Georgetown this week, we are up to 28 active listings. We were at 27 last week. So, I mean, it's still super low. Seeing under 30, even seeing under 50 is bad, but like under 30 is really bad. So only at 28 active listings from 27. Looking at our price points, so under 700,000, we are up from 3 to 5 active listings. 4 of them are condo units and 1 of them is a condo townhome. 700,000 to 800,000 remains the same at 2 active listings. They are townhouse units. So your starting price point for a detached right now is $829,000. Between 800 and $1 million, we are sitting the same as last week. We are at 5 active listings. The $1 million plus, that market, honestly, it's wild. We are down from 17 to 15 active listings this week. The sales last week in $1 million plus were huge. Some of the houses got like 1.6 to 1.7 million for like nice Georgetown South houses, but still like we are pushing 1.7 million on a subdivision home. That kind of price point used to be reserved for like estate homes only. And so now we are seeing Georgetown South subdivision homes pushing 1.6 to 1.7. This is not getting any better, people. So I kind of was curious on breaking down the numbers in Georgetown because there's a lot more inventory to look at. So sorry if I focus on Georgetown too much, but it's just our main market in Halton Hills. So when I look at the 28 active listings in Georgetown, 19 of them have been on for 7+ days. So those listings aren't the ones that are flying off the market. And I really should do a better job probably of saying like, okay, this was listed this week and it sold in the same week. Because when you look at that, it really means that we only have 9 listings that have been on less than a week. Of those 9, 5 of them have offer nights today or tomorrow. So we really have a pocket of listings. So let's say that 19, sure, there's some of them that may have already transacted. But when we're looking at that 19, those have been on for a week plus. Those are not going to be the ones that are really moving. So those are kind of sitting. They might be slightly, priced a bit high. But we only technically have 9 new listings. That is mind-blowing. And most of those are probably going to be gone today or tomorrow. So really of the 28, only 9 are like fresh to the market. Wild. So in the rest of our markets this week, inventory remained the exact same. Acton stayed at 9 listings, Glen Williams at 1, Limehouse at 1, and the rural market at 18 listings. So overall, we are still not coming out of this anytime soon. I read an article this week that was released, I think it was in the Globe and Mail, that our CREA, so Canadian Real Estate Association, our numbers have been cooling since the peak that we saw in March, which like I'm going to agree with, But that doesn't mean that the numbers are still not like significantly up from 2020 and staying there. Like, we are still seeing crazy amounts of bidding wars. There are still so many buyers that cannot find properties. Like, my list alone is huge on buyers that would buy a property tomorrow if the right thing was there. And so you can only imagine how long it's actually going to take us to satisfy these buyers. I'm not feeling optimistic for the buyers for the remainder of 2021. I don't know when. I mean, no market stays this way. It always changes. Like, we saw this in 2017. This one just feels like it's going on forever. Like, we're now 12 months into this chaos and no end in sight. So at some point it is going to change. It always changes. But right now, if you hear anyone telling you that the market is different, like, these numbers are showing that it's not. So I'll be back next Tuesday. I am no longer optimistic that I'm going to be giving you positive news for the market changing and supply increasing. So we're just gonna have to ride this wave. I love looking at these numbers. It's super interesting to me. So I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great week, everyone.